Hello, my name is Steve Hermann. I'm the author of Mediumship Mastery, the ultimate guide, the mechanics of receiving spirit communications. I love mediumship, I love teaching mediumship, and I love working with mediumship. I am always feeling so enthusiastic about mediumship. And I'll tell you, the most important aspect of it for anyone who's interested in developing mediumship is the discipline that you need to cultivate in order to be the most effective medium possible. All mediumship involves teamwork between those in the world of the spirit who are working with the medium and the medium here in the physical world. And when you have complete discipline and control over your mind and over the process of spirit communication, you are going to be, I guarantee you, a much more efficient and effective vehicle for the higher personalities to work through. Because all mediumship, it's a cooperative effort. And sadly, the spirit world is limited, and they can only work with what we provide them. So you want to develop mediumship, what do you need to do? Well, obviously, one needs to meditate every day, don't they? And what takes place with meditation? Well, with meditation, you learn to raise your own vibration up. You also learn to relax the physical body. And as a result, once you relax the body, your own mind becomes very calm and very receptive. And at the same time, you're able, as a medium, to mentally disassociate and get the analytical mind out of the way. And of course, the spirit world is literally all around us. Of course, it's at a much higher rate of vibration than here in the physical. So the spirit personalities, they have to lower their rate of vibration and connect with us telepathically and energetically. So if you're involved in it, and we see this, someone gets involved in mediumship, their mind is just, they're not in control of their thoughts. Their mind can completely be filled with endless clutter and chatter. So the regular practice of meditation, and believe me, it needs to be done literally every single day as a regular practice. That's going to greatly enhance your ability to raise your vibration, but also to get out of the way and allow your mind to be receptive to actually receive from the spirit world. To be able to get your own tendency to pick apart the different thoughts that are being placed in your head. Because of course, when you start to do that, what happens? You block information from coming in from spirit, and you end up altering the content and the meaning of what they're trying to come through with. And sometimes I'll tell my students, you need to meditate every day. How many of you brush your teeth every day? And usually, in most cases, everybody will raise their hand. Of course, I'll also ask, well, what happens if you don't brush your teeth every day? And we know that your teeth will get yellowish, they'll eventually get black, and then they'll probably fall out. So meditation needs to become a habit, and you need to be disciplined with sticking to that. Of course, when you're sitting for meditation, what you're also doing is you're sitting in the power for the spirit world to work with you. Because the higher personalities, they are drawn to you as a medium through the law of attraction. They blend their minds and their consciousness with you. They are able to work as you're sitting in the power, just individually on your own. What to speak of with a group. And they're able to work with your chemistry. They're able to go into your mind on a very deep level, both consciously and unconsciously, and learn to know you like a book. So when you place yourself in that sacred space on a regular basis, and it has to be on a regular basis, you have to be fully committed to doing this work and being the best possible vehicle. They're going to learn you like a book, know you inside and out intimately in a good way, and be able to work with you and use the contents of your mind and inspire you and influence you. And of course, along with the meditation, it's very, very, very important that the student of mediumship regularly attend some type of development circle. Ideally, if you're going to go to a group for mediumistic development. It's very beneficial if it's obviously harmonious conditions. If it's closed, in the sense that it's keeping the same participants each week, that's going to be much better than just some type of group that's open, people coming and going. And it's interesting over the years because I've been to so many different circles run by different mediums, different classes or workshops facilitated by various teachers of psychic development and mediumship. And some of these classes have been great in terms of how things have been run. But in other cases, there hasn't been a lot of discipline. I remember this one class, and the leader of the class in the middle of it went out to have a cigarette break in the middle of the meditation part. Just left everyone sitting there for 45 minutes and then came back in after she finished her cigarette. Now, if you were a student in that particular group, you definitely would not be cultivating discipline, would you? Because in order to work with the spirit world, the conditions have to be there. And you can't break those conditions. You want to do every single thing possible to enhance the energies, to enhance those conditions, so they're able to actually work with you. And of course, when two or more are gathered in the name of God, you create this energy and this vibration that's very, very dynamic and very effective. You know, we talk about sitting in the power as an individual. But when two or more sit in the power, that intensity of the vibration is phenomenal in what can actually take place. So someone who's involved in mediumship, it's very, very, very important that they attend circle all the time. And you know, if you're going to a circle, it should be run in a disciplined manner. It shouldn't just be one of these types of things where people are coming and going, they're getting up, breaking the circle. They feel inspired like it's a German shepherd and they're barking like a dog walking around on all fours. This type of thing. It has to be run well. And it has to be run and ideally facilitated by someone who actually knows what they're doing. So of course, if you're putting energy into this and you're learning how to raise your own vibration, and most importantly, learning how to turn on your mediumship, but also how to turn it off. And I've seen there's really two different types of students often that get into this. And most people, at least in this culture, tend to be very analytical. You know, they may be sensitive to an extent. They may be aware of energies. They've got their intuition. But their analytical mind is predominant. And with people like that, they have to spend that time just to learn how to calm the mind and get the analytical out of the way. So in that way, they can be aware of the impressions that are being placed in their mind by the spirits who are training them from the spirit world. And of course, the opposite extreme is you have someone who's just so sensitive. They're highly psychic, highly mediumistic, and they can't turn it off. You know, they're hearing voices all the time. They go to the supermarket, they're checking their food, and they see someone standing behind the person at the checkout counter who's deceased. And all these times, they see dead people all the time, just like the movie The Sixth Sense. But really, with mediumship, you want to be able to turn it on and you want to be able to turn it off. You don't want to be a leaky faucet. I remember, it must have been a decade ago, this one medium I knew who really didn't have that much experience, but he had a website, and I went to his website. In his bio, he was emphasizing the fact that he never turned his mediumship off, that he was on 24/7. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and he'd be hanging out in the local McDonald's or fast food joint, and he'd be getting communications for people there. Can you imagine that? And these are like basic mediumship 101 things you learn in the very first class if it's run the right way not to do. But you see a lot of this on TV, mediums walking up to people and accosting them in public at the shopping mall, giving them a message. This isn't what you do. not just in an ethical type of sense, but we want to have control over what we're doing because we want quality. And in the spirit world, they will go out of their way to work with you. They want to make that student of mediumship the best possible vehicle for them to work through. So it's very, very, very important that we do our part. And if we go back historically within spiritualism, they used to have what was referred to as promiscuous circles. Has anyone ever heard of a promiscuous circle? It has absolutely nothing to do with sexuality. What it has to do with a group of people just sitting under very frivolous circumstances. It could be 2 a.m, everyone's drunk out of their mind, and we're just going to sit there. Get the Ouija board out, and let's communicate with the spirit world and see who comes through. But when you're sitting for the spirit world, same time, same place, on a regular basis, you've made an appointment, you've disciplined what you're doing, and you've made an appointment with the world of the spirit. And there's reverence for what's taking place. So of course, if you're just opening up really like the wrong time and the wrong circumstances, well, the quality isn't necessarily going to be there the way it could be. So I wanted to really encourage all of you. You want to work with your mediumship. You want to develop your mediumship to the greatest capacity. So you need to be punctual when you go to the circle. You need to devote your life to this to the extent that you can. You may have other responsibilities, other commitments. But oftentimes, and there's nothing wrong with making mediumship a hobby, but when you approach it as a retirement hobby, which is often the case in many spiritualist churches, it's inexpensive, I can go sit in some circle, I'll get something out of it. It's not taken that seriously. And really, mediumship is sacred. It serves a higher purpose to help not just people here in this physical world, but also to help those in the world of the spirit. So we don't want to be a leaky faucet. We want to develop our mediumship to the fullest capacity. So as you learn to control what you're able to do, how you're able to work with the spirit world, consequently, they're also going to be able to control and work through you much more efficiently. When we talk about control sometimes when it comes to mediumship, it really works a little bit of both ways, because we have the control of the personalities in spirit that they energetically and mentally exercise over the medium. But then the medium also has to have control over what they're doing. Yes, they have to let go and allow the spirit world to work with them. But they also have to know what's taking place and have to be cooperative with the personalities that are working with them in the spirit. Mediumship is absolutely wonderful. And the more that you put into it, the more you're going to get out of it. You open that door to the spirit world, you're never actually able to close it in one sense. But in the same sense, if you don't close it, then there might be some real problems, because you have to live your own life and you have to do other things. And I've noticed that, people who are they're very well organized, they're very much in control over their own lives. In a general sense, they're going to also take those same qualities into how they go about with their own mediumship. So thank you so much for watching my video. Please like it, and feel free to check out my book, Mediumship Mastery, The Ultimate Guide, that's available on Amazon. If you have any questions, feel free to get hold of me. I'm really into the teaching aspect, and I certainly will go way out of my way to help you. So take good care, and God bless each and every one of you.